All right, guys. Round 7, Becoming Muhammad Ali. Want another scene from the movie starring Cassius? Here's one, at least how I remember it. It was fall afternoon. We were out back at the Clay house, me, Cassius, and Rudy. We had borrowed some of Mr. Clay's paints to make posters and promote Cassius's next fight, but Cassius wasn't satisfied with just names and places and dates and times. He had to add a little drama, a little color, a little poetry. "Come see Clay, go all the way," he wrote on one poster. Another one he said, "In just one round, his opponent goes down." I helped with this spelling, but the language was all his. For Cassius, it wasn't enough to be a fighter. He wanted to be a fighter with flair. Cassius loved music. Hound Dog and Long Tall Sally were on the radio all the time that year. I think that maybe that's where he gets the ideas for his rhymes. He always had songs in his head, but the words came out pure Cassius. By the end of the bout, his lights'll be out. Like that. After the paint dried, we hauled them all over West End, putting up the posters wherever we could find an empty place on a wall or fence. We were putting up the last poster near the house on Virginia Avenue whenever we heard a screen door opening. A lady in a bright pink housecoat came out onto her stoop, and she was looking straight at the poster, and she got red-hot mad. "Hey! You boys ain't putting that poster up here," she hollered. "It's public property, ma'am," said Cassius, polite as always. He put another tack through the poster. "I know it is, but that's my nephew you're going to be fighting. I can't have you bragging over him. Ain't right." Cassius looked at the poster. Right below his name, in smaller letters, was the name of his opponent, Jimmy Ellis. "Ma'am," Cassius asked, pointing to her, "you Jimmy's aunt?" "That's right," she said, pointing right back. "And I know who you are. You're Cassius Clay, and Jimmy is going to knock you silly." Cassius just smiled as he put his last tack in the poster. "Sorry, ma'am," said Cassius. "Jimmy and I are friends, but when we get in that ring, I don't know him." Nothing silly about that. In that very moment, I knew Jimmy Ellis was going down. In Louisville, boxing for kids was so popular that they actually put it on television, on the local station, Wave. The show was called Tomorrow's Champions, and Cassius was the main attraction. In fact, he treated Wave like his own personal TV empire. For every bout, he was so confident, and was like he'd already won before the fight even started. Cassius was just 89 pounds when he licked his first opponent, Ronnie O'Keefe. And plenty more dropping after that. Big kids, strong kids. And when the bell rang, they came out swinging. Cassius just landed back and let their punches land in midair. And he started to jab back with his long arms. Right, left, dud, 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 dud. Pretty soon, his opponents would be so tired from throwing air punches that they'd bent over and panting. Cassius was already on another level. He had a way of knowing exactly when a punch was coming and where it was coming from. "My built-in radar," he told me. Nobody, fans, trainers, sparring partners, had ever seen anything like it. It can't be, one of the refs said, but it was. Pretty soon, my friend Cassius wasn't the only one saying he was the greatest all over Louisville. Everybody was saying the same thing. Cassius Clay versus James Davis, February 4th, 1955. I won 4 fights in a row, one with the TKO, so I took it a little easy getting ready for my big fight in the Louisville Golden Gloves tournament against a little funny-looking kid named James Davis. I slept a lot, skipped running in Chickasaw days at a time, just ran to school and back, didn't drink much garlic water, goofed around with the fellas at the gym, and stayed up late. Reciting rhymes with Rudy, and ate almost a whole chocolate cake, plus 3 bowls of ice cream for dinner on my 13th birthday, all of which is why Joe Martin said I looked sleepy, fought with no killer instinct, got beat like a rented mule, and I lost my 5th fight to a short, funny-looking kid named James Davis. Cassius Clay, 4 wins, 1 loss. Cassius Clay versus John Hampton, July 22nd, 1955. Hamp smiled when he landed a few body shots, so when he got close enough to me, I whispered, "That's all you got?" and then threw a left jab and a right hook, and that sent him tumbling to the mat. Cassius Clay, 9 wins, 2 losses. Conversation with Rudy. "You racked up the wins, Gigi. How you feeling?" "I feel with my hands. Now let me practice." "I saw Teeny and Ronnie today." "I'm trying to concentrate, Rudy." "I'm just saying, I think they're going together." "You know her cousin Alice?" "Yeah." "She asked me to be her boyfriend." "I thought you already had a girlfriend, Rudy." "Just 'cause you don't have time for girls, Gigi, don't mean I gotta be the same." You think Ronnie and Teeny really a thing? I don't know, Rudy. You mad? Mad that you won't let me focus. Ain't nobody thinking about Ronnie and Teeny and her cousin Alice. Now, unless you want a fat lip, you best let me finish my sit-ups. Before, when we got home from training at the gym, I made Rudy jump rope with me for at least 15 minutes and do bicycle crunches and sit-ups in the backyard until we both just collapsed under the stars, dreaming about the future until Cash brought us back to the present. We thought we'd done something wrong when he kept hollering for us to come inside, but when we did, we saw him shaking his head, chin trembling, and grief pouring from his eyes, and we thought again. And when he showed us the picture of the dead boy, we cried too. I was 13. I was 13 when I lost my first fight and my first girl to my best friend. When Teeny told me that she chose Ronnie because I was married to my boxing gloves in the ring. When I got real serious about the sweet science, trained and fought like a madman. When I decided that one day I was going to become a heavyweight champion of the world. When my daddy showed us a gruesome magazine photograph of a 12-year-old faceless boy who was visiting family in Mississippi for the summer whenever he was shot in the head, drowned in the river, and killed for maybe whistling at a white woman. When I got to see Emmett Till in the face of America. Even though I won the next few fights, I felt a devastating loss. I was 13 when I realized that maybe boxing could save us. Take me away from all of this. The next few years I fought like a gladiator, ate like a champ, and lit up contenders in the ring like a lamp. Sparred on the daily, kept my fists high, danced on my feet like a black butterfly. Me and Rudy Baker battled 2 rounds. I sent him home crying to Smoketown. Twice I laid Donnie Hall out flat, walked all over him like a doormat. I boxed nonstop and trained insane, and one thing on my mind, no pain, no gain. A guy with a camera films me dancing around my corner, waiting for the ref to blow his whistle. Hey, kid! Another guy in a baseball cap with a pen and pad yells from the folded-up seats, you think you could take Jimmy Ellis? I look right square in the camera lens and yell back. Introduction reprise. I'll shake him, break him, and then take him out. Who'll win this fight, there shall be no doubt. Cassius Clay is unstoppable, and don't you forget the man to beat me ain't been born yet. Cassius Clay versus Jimmy Ellis, August 30th, 1957. He came out smiling and swinging, strong and swift like Duke Ellington on the keys. So I danced to the rhythm in my head, bobbing and weaving and letting him tag me a few times so I could get a feel for his mind and for the fight he was bringing. And when I saw that he was getting tired in the third and final round, I whispered, no offense, Jimmy, then smiled for the cameras and opened up a can of Louisville Blues that he wasn't expecting to hear. I threw a solid punch with my left to his side, and while he was distracted with the pain, I landed a quick, clean uppercut with my right to his jaw that turned that smile into a frown and shut all his music off. Cassius Clay, 16 wins, 2 losses. Rematch. I saw Jimmy Ellis at Fred Stoner's gym whenever we got to talking about the fight, and then some guys started talking smack about how the judges did Jimmy wrong, and the fight was fixed and whatnot, so yeah, I told him, let's fight again. Cassius Clay versus Jimmy Ellis Part 2, October 12th, 1957. More people in Louisville watched our rematch than I Love Lucy that week, which is good, because a million folks saw my pretty face, but bad because they saw it when I took my headgear off after losing in a split decision, 1 judge for me and 2 for him. Cassius Clay, 17 wins, 3 losses. Conversation with Rudy. Sorry, Gigi. For what, Rudy? I mean, 'cause of that last fight. Can't have the light if you can't see the dark, Rudy. Sound like something Granddaddy Herman would have said. Rudy, he's still the greatest. In fact, I may be the double greatest. Can I ask you a question, Gigi? I don't know. Can you? Think we'll ever get there? Get where? The Golden Gloves? Not if you don't quit interrupting my flow. The kid who won this year was from Cleveland. I know. He was a light middleweight. Strong, though. Not as strong as the kid from a few years ago from St. Louis. Never saw anybody hit that hard. He was a heavyweight, Rudy. Name was Sonny Liston. I swear he hit so hard, Gigi, he could probably turn a human brains into grits. Turn July into June? That's one joker you don't want to get in a ring with. The fight is won before you get in that ring, Rudy. What's that supposed to mean? Means I ain't gonna always be there to protect you. So focus, Rudy. I'm bigger than you. Won almost as many fights as you. What I need protection for? Keep yapping, little brother. I'll show you. Gigi, can I ask you something? You just did. What we gonna do after high school? Same thing we doing now, knocking out whoever's silly enough to get in the ring with us. But that's not a job. It was a job for Sugar Ray and Joe Louis. I hear you talking, Cassius, but maybe we ought to have a backup plan, like the Army. I got 2 words for you and Uncle Sam. What's that? Heck and no. Until this country treats boys like me and you as human beings, I ain't fighting for no flag. True. Now stop bothering me and let me hit these bags. I gotta be ready. And that's round 7.